He's the wonderful translator for WCS America. You've probably seen him at some point. He wears suits that look like they're made for women.
Wow. Wow.
No, I'm just teasing.
Man, that hurt. Man, that hurt.
No, but seriously, guys, he's taking your questions all day today. You know, we can't guarantee a live interview with Jaedong, but what we can guarantee is he can translate the questions that you want to ask and ask Jaedong on your behalf. So, whether you're asking him in Twitch chat or whether you're tweeting at him at SC2Mal, send him your questions for these players, and we'll try and get those questions out for you and answered, of course. But let's start this off. Spotting the bottom left corner of the map, it is the red Zerg player from StarTale. It is my honor to introduce Life. That studio. That
Yeah,
audience.
right.
Oh wait, no, I gotta get the studio one right.
Okay.
Let's do a Jaedong one.
Okay. In the upper right, as the blue Zerg, it is EG's Jaedong.
I like it. The slow clap into the fast clap when it's one person doing it. Fantastic.
I know.
By the way, big shout, both of these guys did retweet about what's going on, so if you guys want to be really cool, get on Twitter, make sure to retweet about this as well, share with your friends, because this ZvZ is going to be a good one, and it's one of the rare times you're going to get to see a matchup of this caliber. Now, my only regret that this is a best of 3 here for the group stage. This is Group B, for those who are just joining us on the cast today. We're doing 2 group stages a day. We're crazy like that. You know, WCS, for an example, they do 1 a night. Code A, you know, 1 per event as well. Or well, I guess Code as Code A, whatever code it's at. Regardless, we're doing 2 group stages a day. Tomorrow we'll be doing groups C and D. And then the grand finals, the round of 8 and all that stuff will be on day 3. So if you guys have missed some of today, don't worry. There's a lot more of this tournament ahead of us for the rest of this week. And oh, I forgot we were playing. I gotta, hang on, turn off mouse scroll. Those sick 3v3s, guys! They're ruining the cast.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess one of the big questions we're going to see in this matchup, I mean, I think, honestly, it kind of feels like long and gone is the days where a lot of these Zerg players, especially the top Zerg players, really favor that crazy heavily Zergling aggression. We do see it from time to time, but a majority of the time, you know, it's roaches. It's who can macro better and who can segment their army off and better splits, who can get better surrounds. I have no idea the way these guys are going to take it, but I can tell you, no matter which way, it's going to be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, because right now the meta, and it has been for a while, was Roach versus Roach. But both of these players are known for their Zergling plays. They're very aggressive Zergling plays. Yeah. And was it in the DreamHack Summer? Was it that Jaedong lost to Life? I think it was 2-3.
I was just thinking about that. It was actually, he lost to Impact, and Impact lost to Life recently.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I remember a series between the two where Jaedong lost.
No, Impact beat out Jaedong, right? Because remember, wasn't there that whole story about that was his like lifelong dream and all? Like, it was so cool. It's so hyped.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I was thinking of, but he actually might be thinking of another tournament, like even farther back.
Yeah.
Where Jaedong actually fought.
Yeah, because it was at that DreamHack that.
It was this year for sure. I think I should check in AliGolaf.com, see when it was.
Well, the nice thing about having a third caster is you could tap out and do that while Zombie up and I talk.
Yeah.
Well, I actually was already tabbing out and doing that, and I don't see any losses to Life. I didn't see any losses to Life that were at least recorded, so he didn't make a 3rd, 4th place or above by losing to him. So,
well, James,
if it might have been something else though.
You just got outed on hardcore, dude. Are you embarrassed right now?
What did I watch?
It was a dream.
It could have been like a
sequence.
round of 16 or something, you know. It wouldn't get recorded on Wikipedia though.
That would make a lot more sense. Anyways, Queens are gonna try to keep the Zerglings from scouting. First blood. But the Ling will still get up into the base. Of course, one of the biggest things you scout with these first 2 Lings is you're looking for gas timing. Now, if Jaedong can keep this Ling alive long enough, he's going to see the 8 more Lings that are about to pop from Life, and that's a big tell. Okay, so Life is going to get this unscattered for the time being. I mean, Overlords are eventually going to see this come out, of course, but Jaedong is not unprepared for this. The nice thing about being kind of the top of the game for both of these players, they're able to study each other's play. I don't know if they did coming into the series or not, if they just know each other really well, but Jaedong was and is ready for this. You know, Spinecaller came down as the Zergling scouted. Baneling is already complete. 4 Banelings going to be at the top of the ramp. This is going to be a bit of an annoyance, but this isn't going to be the end of his game. Not in the slightest. Life still funneling across the map with a lot more Lings. He's also squeezing in a lair behind this, kind of curiously enough. Jaedong, of course, probably not going to feel too confident to go straight to lairs. He's going to be spending a lot of his defense here on making sure these Banelings don't do too much damage. Life with some pretty good Ling control as well. But the Spine Crawler is already at half health from that little bit of a Ling run by. Does have to be careful because it could get finished off if not careful.
No, they're both really, really careful about this. Man, they're both already transitioning out of this. You know, Life might duck in here, but there's already 2 more banelings.
Yeah.
Wow!
Actually,
oh wow,
ooh.
Jaedong.
He might need to
three.
cancel a third.
He
Like,
should.
like with his overlords, he has to have recognized like there wasn't a follow-up of this, so yeah,
Okay.
it does cancel a third. Good choice, good choice. The evolution chamber gonna come down at a bit of a funny spot. I would have expected this to be more part of the wall, but Life is actually gonna go mutas. This, you know, we talk about like old styles and metas. You know, this used to be the thing to do. ZvZ was only mutas and nothing else for the longest time. Of course, that's kind of toned down. We've had multiple patches. Spore crawlers have been improved, yada yada yada. But one thing mutas still let you do in this game is get very early map control. You know, start picking off overlords. You start containing Jaedong to his 3 bases on his side of the map. The question, of course, is going to be how heavy does Life dedicate to this?
Yeah. Usually the person who goes muta seems to always get the 3rd cancel as well. They're the ones that are still getting lings at a longer time than you are. So unless Jaedong has some extra banelings, it could be very possible that Life cancels this 3rd. There are banelings ready to go to control them correctly.
A lot of lings to deal with for now. These drones. Oh, don't transfer.
Oh.
Do not transfer these drones, Jaedong. Oh, God.
He's okay. He's okay. He had banelings off to the side.
Alright.
It's okay, guys. Calm down.
A little bit scared, a little bit scurry. Spine Crawler, of course, has no creep to work with just yet. Once that finishes up, it'll be a little bit better. Oh, that detonation doesn't quite hit the spot. There are a couple banelings here of Life still morphing in. Even though he's transitioning to mutas, he's still doing quite well with his circling baneling aggression. Jaedong, however, is transitioning into roaches, and one thing he's going to need to identify sooner than later is the fact that he needs some spore crawlers.
Yeah. You know, I don't think he's noticed that he's going for mutas yet. Oh my God, he's gonna lose so many overlords.
No, he's got spine spores coming down, so
Okay,
maybe it's just out of paranoia, maybe it's safety. He'll see the spine or the spire here once they oversee your paths, but yeah, Muta's coming across the map. He's got to know by now. He's definitely seen them on the overlords. For himself, like, what can you do with these roaches other than send them across the map? Because if he leaves them at home, they're just gonna get slowly chipped away.
I'm really worried about these overlords. They're slowly going back, but you know, we can chip off these 2 lingering behind probably, and there's a few more off to the right.
You know, what's a little bit worrisome too is like he's relying a lot on spore crawlers. He's not really advancing his. Like, we're not seeing more roaches come. We're not seeing hydras come out. Lings flooding in. This is where their strength lies. You know, the mutas force Zerg player to play a little bit scared, a little bit defensive, and in doing so, Jaedong finds himself susceptible to lings.
More roaches are coming to join. It wouldn't have been a bad idea for Jaedong to go ahead and get a couple of more banelings because, you know, it does take them a long time. Although, honestly, usually those 20, 30 lings that we saw the first time trying to kill the hatch is what you usually see, and then they're done. They're transitioning into their own roaches. So that, you know, those lings are probably a little bit of a surprise. But as we can see, Life is finally transitioning into his own roaches.
Yeah, it's kind of a golden rule of ZvZ. You know, if your opponent doesn't go mutas, you don't keep going mutas. It just won't pay out. There's too many games you can throw away by investing too much into this. You know, one good fungal, a couple well-positioned spores, queens. You can have your life, well, no pun intended, ruined very quickly by having too many mutas. But he's actually, you know, the thing is for Jaedong, you gotta consider, he forced out a lot of spore crawlers. I mean, 7 spore crawlers for this many mutas. It's what you need, but it's also 700 minerals in the hole, plus the drones, so that count as well. I mean, Life has a huge drone lead, and it's for multiple different reasons.
Jaedong also never got that opportunity to, you know, send, you know, 9, 10 roaches across the map and force out a bunch of spine crawlers. He's really been stuck inside of his own base for a long time. He will have an upgrade lead, but only, I mean, not really. Actually, Life's 1-1 will finish up with Jaedong's +2. Oh, and Jaedong actually very far behind in supply right now. Having difficulty spending his gas.
The only thing he's ahead is the number of queen counts, which is very sad to see.
Yeah.
It's not something you really care about.
We got Infestation, but also coming here for Life. I mean, every step of the way, he just seems to be a little bit further ahead of Jaedong. You know, his drone counts really what's been giving him this acceleration to succeed. Third base driven off once again. So Jaedong, you know, he's got the worker deficit, and he can't even mine with what few workers he has.
His
roaches. Like, where's the Hydra Den?
You know, this might be a case of, it's so weird to see because Jaedong's an absolutely fantastic player, but you know, Jaedong is usually used to being the player, unless he's facing like Scarlet, who mixes in the Mutas first, so that might be a little surprising. But also, too, if he was planning, like, if he went into this game thinking, I'm going to go Roach Baneling, which is something that he's been trying out and liking a whole lot ever since he saw Snoot do it, he's kind of still stuck in that mentality. I mean, he's not making any Banelings, but he's also not making anything else, so now it's kind of like, well, what are you doing, Jaedong?
Well, life is starting to spiral out of control. He's finally caught up to Jaedong in Roach Camp, something that really shouldn't have been able to happen with how much of a lead Jaedong had on those roaches, how much capitalization he had. I think defenders... Well, what's curious is Jaedong's actually transitioning into Mutas behind this. I see the question mark. The Roach count here is going to work out because he's got defender's advantage, unless he sends halfway across the map.
I've never seen him transition into Mutas.
No, neither have I, so that's why I'm curious about that Spire. I mean, weirdly enough, it will catch Life a little bit off guard, I guess, because Life doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air, but those Infestors will work.
Yeah, those Infestors are already popping out, and Life might throw down a Hydralisk End. Apparently, it's the game of no Hydralisk End, but good, or okay counterattack, I should say. Kills the 4th. And it's probably gonna be able to run away. I mean, the Mutas obviously will chase, but the Roaches can't chase.
Man, it's funny too, because these just don't do a lot of damage, but they do enough damage to eventually kill him.
Oh, and Jaedong also has stopped his upgrades. Life will have 2-2. 2-1. Much farther ahead than Jaedong.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the Spire. I've actually, we've cast a good couple, probably 1,000 ZvZs at this point, and I've never seen anyone transition into Spire off the back end of this. My only thoughts are maybe he's worried about, and this sounds really crazy, I know, Broodlords, because they have been coming a lot more into the ZvZ matchup, but no, it's actually just going to be Mutas. This is so weird.
I think I've seen a couple... The thing is, I never actually saw the games in their entirety. I just saw, like, some of the end games. And I think I've seen him stay on it for much longer and not a Muta game. But I can't remember them. So if it's not been done before, that might not be true, but it's still certainly very rare.
So what I think... It sounds so silly. I think the process of the Mutas is, like, Life didn't make a bunch of Spore Crawlers, right? But hang on, gonna use them to pick off a couple of the Infestors here at the back. Good start. Yeah. Infested Terran's coming down to desperation, but Life's got a Roach lead. Jaedong does have defender's advantage, but he's kind of losing out right now because a lot of his Roaches are across the map, not at home defending. Queens also need to get involved with the fight. He's bleeding out here pretty quickly. But more Mutas pop, and will this save him? I mean, it technically can eventually kill the Roaches, but yeah, they don't have the DPS to compete with the Roaches.
And look at Life's bank, my god!
4K, 5K.
15 Hydras, no problem, please.
I did not know you could contaminate a Hatchery building.
Whoa! This is...
It doesn't affect it in the slightest, as we can see, but it's still cool. It's still building underneath it. I don't know what the deal that was.
So weird.
But okay, 28 Hydralisks. If there's one thing that's going to tear through Mutalisks like nobody's business, it's a lot of Hydras. The difference here, though, guys, and this is where Jaedong might have an edge way back into the game, Roaches beat Hydras. Like, pure Roach versus pure Hydra, a lot of the time the Roaches went out just because their HP lets them bully the Hydras down. Hydralisks are really these glass cannon units. Lots of DPS, not a lot of health. So maybe this is how he gets back into this. I don't know, but this is him playing from behind.
Oh, the fungal! The fungal, the cheetahs.
Alright, game number 1.